Make sure you subscribe on all platforms and leave that 5-star review. Let's get it.
Far as load management, just sitting out of a game, I can sit out of practice. Play me in the game.
Trade speculation, casual Sixers fans, they'll trade me for a crumble cookie.
Talk about it.
You are now tuned in to Above the Rim. Hoops talk for the streets.
Family, what's good? Welcome back to another edition of Above the Rim. Hoops talk for the streets. You already know how we do, family. Brought to you as always. It's your host, Justin, aka Just Blaze. Family, you know the drill. To get in contact with me, you can always hit me up and follow me on Twitter at JustBlaze_513, on IG at JustBlaze513, on Facebook and YouTube. Search Above the Rim Podcast. Also email the show as well. Above the Rim NBA Podcast at gmail.com. Tap in and leave the family a voicemail. The line is always open. 908-718-1592. Best way to support the show is by copy your merch. You already know. Link is in my bio. Show some love. Appreciate it, of course, family. Eastern Conference preview episode. One question that I have for every team going into the season. Let's start off with the Boston Celtics. Are the Celtics complacent with last year's title? Are they pissed off enough going into the season? The Celtics were disrespected all summer for not playing enough quality teams in their run last year. Tatum got shafted by the hater Steve Kerr and benched on Team USA. Jaylen Brown didn't even get an invite to Team USA, and many are discrediting them for their championship run or for having a great team, a so-called super team on their championship run. This is the year of Jason Tatum, and I don't want to hear about anyone else on this roster other than Jaylen Brown and especially Jason Tatum. All that nice shit, is about time for that to go out the window. This is Jason Tatum's year to dominate. It's not about the numbers for him because they were always great. It's just about the moments. He already got his title. From game one, it's time for Jason Tatum to step up and play angry, play aggressive, and put teams away. No more Mr. Nice Guy shit for Jason Tatum. It's time to dominate, as you have already done before. But now we need the moments because it's about time for him to be... He should never fall under 3 in the MVP rankings every single year with the team that he has. So Jason Tatum, is up to you to step up. The Celtics, I don't need to say much about them. We know they're a championship contending team. They're bringing basically the exact same team back next year, and they will be formidable, as we all know. The Philadelphia 76ers. Is Paul George the answer for this team? Recent history says no, but the roster they put around Joel Embiid, Paul George, Tyrese Maxey is very formidable. One of the more underrated pickups of the summer to me was Caleb Martin for the Philadelphia 76ers. This is the deepest roster the 76ers have had in more than a decade, and it's time to get to the NBA Finals, and anything less than that is unacceptable for the 76ers, right? Coach Nick Nurse, one of the better coaches in the league. I'm sure he's going to put a lot of different offensive and defensive game plans in place. They're going to try to supplement the health of Joel Embiid because, as we see, he's going to be playing no more preseason games. They picked up Drummond, to offset some of the games that Joel Embiid is going to miss. But I don't know if that's a drop. I mean, it is a drop-off, let's be clear. But can they sustain that? Joel Embiid, it's all about the postseason for him. So clearly they're going to play him. Well, they said they're not going to play him in many back-to-backs just to make sure that he's healthy for the postseason. Now, I don't know if he will be. We have no history of that in the previous years. But maybe this is a new year. We'll see, because they're going to need Joel Embiid. That's for damn sure. And this is their time in the Eastern Conference right now. The Milwaukee Bucks. My question for them is, what is the identity of this team? Are the Milwaukee Bucks serious contenders? Are they? They look good on paper. They are a contender on paper, but are they really a contender? I'm a little worried about these boys because something looks off and I can't put my finger on it yet. I just don't like that. I feel like Dame and Giannis are just co-workers. They don't really have any real chemistry for me. Those two were asked in media day if they worked out all summer and they both said no. They didn't see each other till damn near training camp. And that's a red flag to me. That's a major red flag that they didn't even work out or even talk to each other all summer. That's your 1-2 punch. They need to be on the same page. And, the pairing of them, showed a lot of promise last year. They scored 30 points in the same game over 8 times, the most in the season by most in the season by a duo in Bucks history. But health is just going to be the key for the team. How healthy is Chris Middleton? He's going to have to be there. He's going to have to play more than 50 games. He's going to have to play at least 65. I don't know if Chris Middleton has it in him, but the core of this team is, they getting up there in age. Chris Middleton is 33, Damian Lillard 34, Brook Lopez 36. They all in their later stages of their career. So we're gonna see if Chris Middleton can be healthy enough, or if Damian Lillard is willing to be more of a pairing with Giannis going into the season. But I love the pickup for Gary Trent. I love the pickup. They just need some chemistry on that roster. I love what he's bringing to the table. The New York Knicks. Now, when you evaluate the New York Knicks, you got to look at them from a different lens, because you have to separate your heart from your head. In your head, you always want the Knicks to win, but there's a difference when you're just happy to win and when you're expected to win. So my main concern for the New York Knicks is, can the Knicks play with expectations this season? This is a totally different world, a totally different stratosphere for the New York Knicks when you're expected to win. You can want to win, but can you win when you're expected? When you are the team that has to win every single game on a night in and night out basis, when you're favored to win every single game, can you do that? It's a different position to be in, and not all players can really transition into that, because it's a different way, right? This is the best Knicks team they basically had in about 20 years. They have an all-star point guard to run the show, one of the best shooting big men in the game, a solid 1-2 punch when healthy, one of the best defensive wing duos in the league, stability at the head coaching position, a competent front office finally in New York. They got past grace. They got alumni chipping in. They're bringing in Patrick Ewing to run. I don't think he's running some of the front office, but I don't know if he's going to be an ambassador or so, just helping out with the team. Probably one of the developmental coaches, but that's big time. Bringing in Patrick Ewing, probably the greatest player in Knicks franchise history, to come in and start working with the team. So that's how you know that they are making steps to become a championship team and a championship contending organization, right? Everybody acknowledges the possibility of a higher offensive ceiling for the Knicks, right? But let's see how the defense looks, how the rebounding looks, and how the toughness looks on a nightly basis, because those are the three areas in my concern for the New York Knicks. But let's see how the season plays out now, because expecting the Knicks to win is a different world to be in. Let's talk about the Brooklyn Nets right now. My question for them, why the hell are the Brooklyn Nets putting their season hopes on Ben Simmons? Why? Ben Simmons, he believes that he's fully rebuilt. Haven't we gotten enough evidence that basketball is not the number one priority for Ben Simmons? I feel like I've seen enough to know that. I don't know if you've seen enough to come to that conclusion, but I have. I don't think it's his number one priority. Yeah, he's a solid player when healthy, but what is a healthy Ben Simmons? What does Ben Simmons look like when he's actually healthy? What is that, 7-7-7? That's chump change. That's not numbers for an all-star caliber player, a max contract level player. 7-7-7. What is that? Can't give me more than 7 points? Come on, man. That's ridiculous. That's not good enough to get it done, especially in this league as a max player. And the Nets need to demand excellence from Ben Simmons and nothing less. Nothing less than excellence. Cam Thomas is going to break out again for the Brooklyn Nets roster. He's probably most likely going to be their leading scorer. Scoring has never been an issue for him, but playmaking is going to be where he needs to step up. The Miami Heat. Can the Miami Heat continue to do more with less? Coach Spo's the best in the business. Don't waste these years, Miami Heat. Are the Heat at a crossroads when it comes to Jimmy Butler? I don't know. They could be. Some say yes, some say no. It's clearly a win or bust mentality for this franchise, but do they really have enough to win anything? I don't know. Terry Rozier, he was their deadline pickup last year. He's the key to this team. He's the one who came over in that midseason trade. He was limited to just 31 games, but can he provide that scoring punch? Or better yet, can he be the leading scorer on this team? They expect big things from Terry Rozier this year, and he could have really helped them out in the postseason, and he wasn't available. Let's see if he's available this year. The Orlando Magic. Can you take that next step into the top 4 of the Eastern Conference? I would like them to. It's going to be tough, but I definitely think it's possible. The Magic, their marquee Free agent addition was Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, KCP, the veteran guard. He addressed the club's desperate need for three-point shooting, and he should fit in seamlessly with their defensive culture. They were one of the better defensive teams in the league last year. They were top 5, and he should fit right in. He feels a major need for the Orlando Magic. But the real question for me when it comes to Orlando Magic is Paolo Banchero now a top 5 player in the East? Think about that. Is Paolo Banchero top 5 in the East? He could be. Let's go over some of the top players in the East. Got Tatum, you got Giannis, you got Embiid. That to me is the top 3 solidified no matter what. After that, gets a little shaky of who solidified themselves in the top 5. Think about it. Why can't he be in the top 5? You got Jimmy Butler, you got Jalen Brunson, you got Trae Young, you got Jaylen Brown, you got Paul George now, you got Karl Anthony Towns now, you got Spider Mitchell now. Paolo Banchero can be better than any of those guys? Yes, he can. Last year, Paolo became the youngest player in NBA history to lead his team in scoring, rebounding, and assists in a season. Why can't he be top 5 in the East? He absolutely can. I'm expecting big things from Paolo Banchero this year. Chicago Bulls. Which one of these guards won't make it past the deadline? Zach LaVine, 29 years old, 3 years, $138 million remaining on his contract. He also underwent season-ending foot surgery last year. When healthy, he made an impact, but it wasn't a big enough impact where they were winning games. So what are they going to do? They have too many guards on this roster. Way too many guards. I could count about 6 or 7 guards on this roster that could literally compete for minutes. So that's going to be a problem in Chicago. And one of those guys or 2 of those guys may have to get moved this year. But shout out to Lonzo Ball for making his comeback. He hasn't played in the game since January 2022. And he's undergone 3 surgeries on that time. So that's tough. So shout out to Lonzo Ball. Happy that he's coming back. The Cleveland Cavaliers. Will Evan Mobley or Darius Garland take that next step this season? When you look at the Cavs, they're a solid team with good pieces, but no juice. There's no fear factor on this roster at all, family. There's no fear factor. Even though Donovan Mitchell is a formidable scorer, no one is scared of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Defense, yes, is their identity, but they have to take a step up in opponent perception. It's not a stat you put on paper. It's opponent perception. When you play your opponents, are they fearful? Are they like, damn, we got the Cavs up on the schedule. I don't want to play these guys. Nobody thinks about that when it comes to the Cavs. Because you're not nervous about them. You're not scared about them. They really could have easily lost to the Magic last year in the first round, but they got lucky, in my opinion. So they need to really find what their full identity is, which is, yes, defense, but they need to find more of what their extra identity is. And they brought in Kenny Atkinson. They fired JB Bickerstaff. I don't know how much of a difference that's going to make, but we'll see. The Charlotte Hornets. Will the Charlotte Hornets play with some maturity this season? How mature will this still be? If LaMelo Ball is not healthy this season, this will be his last year in Charlotte. New head coach Charles Lee, I really like him. It was a great pickup for them. I think he's the right man for the job. I've seen a lot of clips of him talking to the Hornets, and he's a good guy. I like his temperament with the team. But they have 2 foundational pieces in Brandon Miller and LaMelo Ball, but they have struggled to surround those guys with some decent talent. So we'll see where the Hornets look moving forward. The Indiana Pacers. They focus on bringing back their internal free agents, Siakam, Obi Toppin, Nembhard, TJ McConnell, James Johnson. They made an unexpected run to the East Finals last year. That's definitely not happening again. That was a fluke. Let's be clear. Let's be honest here. But they have a formidable team. They will be in playoff contention. They will be a playoff caliber team. And, they're going to be around in the middle of the pack, in my opinion. So, I don't have too much on the Pacers. I just think they're going to be a solid team. Solid, but not great. The Atlanta Hawks. What's the deal with Trae Young? What are you doing with Trae Young? Are you moving him? Are you keeping him? Is Trae Young still the franchise? You drafted another player in Zachariah, and he's still a project right now, so I don't know if you're trying to win games. This Atlanta Hawks team right now is stuck in purgatory, and it's time to get out. So they're going to have to make some moves or just completely start as a full rebuild. The Detroit Pistons. What the hell are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? I have no idea, and I don't think anybody knows. I don't think the Detroit Pistons front office even knows what the hell they're doing. They're making wholesale changes year after year. They're trying to change their fortunes, but it's not going to work. They brought in JB Bickerstaff this year, hired Trajan Langdon as their new president of basketball ops. They brought in Tobias Harris, Paul Reed, Bisley, Tim Hardaway Jr. This, to me, looks like a team where a player stops to get that next deal. This is just a little pit stop for me until I get my next deal and go to the team that I really want to go to. So I don't know what the hell the Pistons are doing, and neither do you. If you do, let me know. The Toronto Raptors. My question for these boys are, what is the identity of this team? What direction are they going in? You know, they got some great jerseys that they're preparing this year. Solid jerseys, sexy jerseys, I might add, the purple joints. But I don't know what direction they're going in. Scotty Barnes, you know, is your franchise cornerstone. Solid player, great player. I don't know if he's a 1A on a championship team. He could be a 2. But they do have RJ Barrett there, who could also be a 2, a nice 3. But I don't know. I mean, I like what Scotty Barnes, what he brings to the table. But who knows if he can really take that next leap with that Toronto Raptors team. And in the Washington Wizards, what is the direction of this team? They have no direction either. Your 2 best players cannot be Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Poole. Let's be real here. Those 2 cannot be your 2 best players and expect to be winning some games. So that's how the Eastern Conference shakes out, family. I hope you stayed tuned in for the Eastern Conference preview. Try to make this short and sweet again. Like I said before, getting into the new season. The new season's right around the corner. After you watch these, we're probably going to get right into the games. But family, I appreciate you again once again for another episode. Make sure you hit me up on Twitter, IG, Facebook with your NBA takes. Send in a voicemail with your thoughts, 908-718-1592. Tell me what you think about the Eastern Conference when I put this out on YouTube as well. Send me your power rankings, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. This is episode 227, family, and we out.